Hi guys, again welcome to my YouTube channel. Always here is your guy Explore TV, and thank you so much guys for supporting me and for always watching my content. Nowadays when I drive across the streets or along some roads, there are so many people who are starting to recognize me because you guys are supporting my content and you are always there to watch and to comment, and a lot of you are also sharing my videos so that people can get to know more about the taxi industry. So the thing that I wanted us to discuss today is this notion of, if you find someone selling a car, that car must have issues. And I don't know where this mentality came from, because in my last video I advertised that I am looking for a driver, and in the circumstance where I don't get a driver who meets my requirement, then I'm also opting to sell my car, which I actually bought not more than 2 weeks ago. And I have seen that over like 60% of the people who are commenting on my videos, they are saying that this is a deal gone wrong, that there is no way I can buy a car within 2 weeks and I make a decision to advertise it again for sale. Who said that you cannot be buying cars and selling them and still do business? If from my my assessment I find that it is too difficult for me to get a driver that meets the criteria that I consider safe for my car, I can add some margin to the cost that I incurred of buying the car, and then I sell it and make my cut. That is clean business. You don't have to keep your car even if it is in good condition. And as well, it doesn't mean that anybody selling his car is in bad condition. And I have explained this concept so many times, and that is the mistake that drivers are making. And almost everyone who wants to invest in this business, they are saying that they want to buy new cars. They want to go to Mombasa and get a car straight from the yard. They want the newest number plate in town. And how much will they pay for that? You go to Mombasa right now for a car like this one. This is Nissan March that I'm still advertising for sales and also looking for a driver if I get, whichever comes first. This car, if you go to Mombasa right now, you will get it for 950,000. And most probably that car will have done close to 120,000 kilometers at the time of import. This one that I am selling, it has only done 84,000 kilometers. In as much as it has been in Kenya for 4 years, most of that time it has been used privately. I said it was imported at a mileage of 20,000 kilometers. Over the last 4 years, it has only done 60,000. So total mileage, if you check at the dashboard, you can check my previous video, it is reading 84,000 kilometers. And my advice to everyone today is this: please don't go into this business with a lot of preconceived ideas. When you find someone is selling a car, go and view that car, have a road test, drive it for even 10 to 20 kilometers. As long as you put fuel and the one selling the car has the time to go with you for that road test, go and test that car. Go, come with your mechanic. Unless you tell me that you don't have good mechanics, unless you tell me that you are not a good driver and you don't know how to identify a car with issues or not. You get my point? There is no problem that is so hidden in a car that cannot be easily identified. Actually, if a car has an issue with the gearbox, just put 3 people on this back seat and a co-driver and the driver. That car is carrying the maximum weight. Then take it uphill. Drive it, for instance, from Kenyatta University all the way to Garden City. That is a very, very challenging uphill for a car that would have issues with gearbox. Try to accelerate and hit the maximum speed uphill. If it works, then there is no problem with the gearbox. The issue could be that of engine. You can hide for some time, because as long as it is running, then it will bring issues later on. but there is also a way to identify an engine that has been opened and one that has not been opened. So my advice is this, and actually I was looking at some statistics about the cars we have in Kenya. Someone was saying that a 2012 model is too old to do Uber, and I challenged them that out of the cars we have, almost I read we have around I can't remember exactly, but we have like 3-4 million cars in Kenya today, but 90% of all the cars that are available in Kenya, 90% of them were built before 2012. They have an year of manufacture of 2012 or earlier, and all those cars are still on the road. And there is a video I did with another gentleman from the UK, and he said that Nissan cars are one of the most reliable cars in the UK. You go there and you tell someone that you want to buy a Range Rover, people fear Range Rover like nobody's business. Nissans are one of the most reliable cars in the UK. Another guy did a video, I think it's called Conversation Wakabi. He said that this Nissan Serena is one of the most popular cars in Japan. But when you come to Kenya, it is one of the most feared cars. And you know, someone also mentioned that there is no car that comes out of the factory when it is not correctly built. There is no car that is wrongly built right from the factory. It is our, you know, it is our driving behaviors, it is our understanding of the spares and repairs, but there is no car that comes out of the factory wrongly built. The issue that people have with Nissans, it's just an issue of mentality. I said that I cannot sell my Nissan March. I have 2 Nissan March right now, and I usually buy them because Nissan March, they don't have a good resale price. Whether it is in good condition or it is in bad condition, whether it is new or old, you will never sell Nissan March at a good price because people have a negative idea of its reliability. So, and that's why I always say, if you want to buy a car that you want to acquire at a cheap price, go for cars that do not have a good resale. Right now, if you go for Toyota, a Toyota, let's say Toyota Vitz or Toyota Passo, a model of 2010, 2011, 2012 will be sold at around 600 or 650,000, while Nissan March, nobody will give you 450,000, even when that car does not have issues. You get my point? So this issue of resale, it's mental. And for you, a person who is business oriented, you need to ask yourself, what is the need for you? Are you buying this car to sell, or are you buying it for business? If you are buying it for business, don't invest in a car that is too expensive. Yesterday I had a conversation with another driver offline, and he told me that he went and bought Suzuki Swift. That car, he bought it at 1.2 million. Imagine if he's receiving, he's giving the owner, like it's the owner who bought it at 1.2, and the guy is remitting only 1,200 per day. That will be around 8,000 per week, and maybe 1,000, 2,000 per month. How long will it take for that guy to get back his 1.2 million? By the time he gets back his 1.2 million, the person who bought my Nissan March, let's say at 500 or for 50,000, just for discussion purpose, will already have made his money back, even if this car was a second-hand condition, a second-hand car. The guy who buys it cash at 450,000, I am sure he will make more money than a guy who went to buy a Suzuki Swift for 1.2, a car that will take 4 years before it breaks even. I don't know whether you get my point. So my advocacy is not towards second-hand cars. It is not towards cars that are seen to be of low quality. You get my point? My advice to you is to look at your cost of investment very, very keenly, because before you break even, that is what will make or break your business. And that is always my advice. If you go to take a car that is too expensive and it takes you 5 years to pay back, by the end of the 5 years, your car will be as old as the one that you are avoiding to buy right now. on cash basis. And if you call yourself a good driver, if you have a mechanic who is reliable, then that mechanic should support you in buying a second-hand car with all the identifiable issues, you know, in place. He tells you this is a big issue or it's not a big issue. Avoid this car, go buy that other one. In any case, these cars that we buy from Japan are always second-hand cars. These are cars that were built a minimum of 8 years ago. Today we are buying cars that were manufactured in 2017. That's clear 8 years. People in Japan would avoid that type of car at all costs. If you are in Japan today and someone is trying to sell you a 2017 model, you would not buy it, because people will call it old, people will call it, you know, depreciated, people will call it worn and torn. But in Kenya, that is what we are calling new cars. You get my point? So don't put yourself in the wave of everyone. Analyze your situation based on the business you are doing and focus on the money. Focus on the money. Don't focus on calling yourself a car owner. Don't focus on calling yourself a person who owns the car with the newest number plate. That is not the business you are in. You are in the business of making money from Uber, and that's what you should focus on. So guys, this car is still on sale. If you want to buy it, check the description. You'll see my email. Shoot me an email and let's discuss the price. But my final advice is this: if you are buying a car to give to a driver, don't buy before you identify a driver. For me, I always mentor drivers that I give cars. This car, I bought it opportunistically. It came to me at a good offer and then I bought it. But I had not mentored any driver to give this car, because I believe a car is a very, very important asset to me. It can easily be, you know, manipulated and it can go bad. So I don't give my cars just to anyone. I give it to people that I have mentored to get into the business. I give cars to people that I know over time. And right now, the guy I should give, he's still not yet qualified, because he has not done the 2 years experience that is required for him to acquire a PSV badge. So that's why I'm considering to sell it. But in the meantime, I'm using it privately. But guys, take your time. Don't get into the trap of thinking that new number plates are the good cars. Okay.